let's define them as two separate things, right? We talk about like the cloud, right, and cloud infrastructure, but now we're at the generation where there's actually two cloud infrastructures now. We're talking about traditional cloud infrastructure and the new AI cloud infrastructure, and they're not the same thing anymore, and we shouldn't look at them as the same thing. And so when we look towards Europe, where do we stand? Well, when we look towards traditional cloud computing, we kind of have it figured out, maybe a little less managed services than our competitors across the pond. But if you look towards the AI area, you can see there's a huge endeavor from Europe. And what I say from that is it's not just a money investment, right? Like we look towards the US, I think in 2025, they've invested the best part of $100 billion into this specific industry. At the same time, Europe has only invested a fraction of that, down at like 10 billion. But the difference is Europe is leading this area because we're leaner and meaner in what we have capable. And now we're at the verge of open source AI models that are competing really well against the major providers. So this is where we need a European infrastructure ready for this. So my question then will be to go towards you guys at UpCloud. Like I've seen your GPUs, they look sexy as hell. Where are you guys going with this?
So we have more than just one type of GPU, which we introduced half a year ago or something like that, L40S, right? Today we have a lot more of them. So that's good. If you want to work with inference or machine learning, you have your choices. But you're right. So first of all, with what you call traditional cloud, right? It appeared a long time ago. And for many years, Europe, and not only Europe, was only partially in this race with just kind of VPS offering things like that. Now the whole world really is in this AI race in similar time, right? We started together, we are pushing this together. Of course, US market put a lot of money, a lot of efforts into that. And they also have the proper infrastructure engineering. What I mean by that is, for example, well-known company like NVIDIA, right, provides the chips. But the models like Chinese DeepSeek shows very well that it's not just about putting a lot of money into that, right? Of course, they started somewhere else than from really the scratch, right? They use other models to teach their model, right? So that's kind of handicap, let's say. But still, they were able to create this for the fraction of money. And what we see today is there's like another variable in this equation of AI. It's not only how strict, how good the model is. I'm talking about LLMs here because they are the most known and most resource hungry, let's say. But also how much it costs, really. And here is the place where the other players have some advantage because we start with something what had this thing in mind already, right? Not just to deliver fully blown best possible in the responses LLM, but also cost effective. And I think that is something what gives us maybe not the big advantage, but at least something what the companies should consider in terms of what kind of resources they are buying to offer to their customers, but also what resources I'm buying as a user, right?